Chocolate rain. Some stay dry and others feel the pain. Chocolate rain. A baby born will die.
Hello, this is another episode of Garry's Mod Server Reviews, and today I shall be reviewing a community called Galaxy Roleplay, who run a modified Dark RP server. The IP and the website of the server will be posted in the video description. When I saw the request to review the Galaxy RP, I quickly went onto their website to see if they were a popular community, but it was obvious their forums were completely empty, as they only had 14 members on the forum, to date. It didn't look like any administrators or moderators were on the forum either, but that could have been just because the owner hasn't updated their title. I mean, I don't know how new this community is, but it doesn't look good to have no administrators on your forums, even if they are registered. But anyway, I put this behind me and went on to the server a few days later. So when the request was made for me to review this server, the owner told me that the peak time was at 4 AM in the UK time. Now, I don't know if this is a typo or something like that, but for obvious reasons I wasn't going to be up at 4 in the morning to review a server. But one morning I popped onto the server to check out the modified stuff for myself, so that I'd be able to get a class that required voting immediately. Because in Dark RP you have some classes that require votes, but if you're on your own in the server, you just instantly win the vote. But obviously the server was empty, so I checked out all the classes that required all these votes. But some I found quite strange, such as the zombie or the prostitute. I mean, that's pretty strange for a game mode that's sometimes populated with 13 to 14-year-olds. I mean, sure, that could be fun for them in the immaturity area, but other than that, I couldn't see anyone doing this actually seriously. I mean, sure, it might be fun for the trolls, but I didn't realise you were trying to make a game mode for trolls. But after looking through the classes, I looked at one of the most popular things to do in Dark RP, which was to make money. But when looking in the F4 menu, I noticed that there were quite a few different types of printers where you get at least one of each, and sometimes you get two of each. But it depended on which printer it was. But they just printed off so much money that I became rich in about an hour. I mean, some printers printed me off about 9,000 at a time, which was just ridiculous. But I think they've updated it recently so that they've reduced the amount of money you get, and that the printers actually blow up quite quickly now, which is sometimes irritating, as it kills you as well. But then I looked on towards the terrorists, who could buy jihad bombs apparently. So I tested this out, and you can actually blow yourself up around a group of people, which is another way to just randomly kill people. So I think at the end of this video I'm going to count up the amount of classes that the owner added that just allow you to kill people as long as it's within the rules. But a few days later I finally had time to get onto the server when it was populated, as there were about 10 people on at the time. So this gave me a pretty good insight into their community. Usually in a Dark RP server you're supposed to have fun, as it's classed as a less serious roleplay for those who want to have a good time. But I found it quite odd, where sometimes I wasn't enjoying myself. I mean, for example, I tried out the zombie class, where I spawned in a building on the street, in which I was able to just run around killing people. Meaning, if there was another class, I was just allowed to kill people in. But of course I wanted to test this, which I was actually allowed to do. So, you're allowed to just run around on the street, just randomly hitting people and killing them, even if they're just standing still. So I'd repeat this process over and over again until I was killed, in which I'd spawn again and do the same. So it just seemed like a waste of a class. I mean, you may as well just call it the zombie killer, because there's just no point to it. All you do is just run around killing people. It's just a waste of bullets for the people who have to pay for them, and it just ruins some of the RP experience for those who don't want to just get killed randomly in the streets. But I also found out that if you're the zombie and you don't have your claws out, which is a sweep you get when you're one of them, but if you don't have your claws out, you can't actually be killed, which I just found stupid. Because apparently the community thinks that a zombie without claws is a safe zombie. But anyway, after killing a few people and dying a couple of times, another zombie joined to help my cause. But I only walked out of our building to find that some people had blocked off the entire street. I mean, it was a dead-end street outside our building, but they blocked off the entire road with a massive wall. Now, don't get me wrong, I think it's alright to be creative in Dark RP, but the fact was that my zombie friend had actually owned a building behind the wall, but one of the creators of the wall was actually the co-owner of the server. And it was crazy because my friend didn't own all the doors inside of this building he owned. He only owned the front door. So apparently the co-owner decided to just take away his access to his door and just take the entire building for himself because he didn't own the doors inside. Now, I just found this completely ridiculous because apparently if you only own the front door to a building and not the doors inside, you don't own the building whatsoever. Now, I wouldn't blame this on my zombie friend. It should be the owner's fault for not parenting and childing the doors so that when you buy a door, you own all of them in the process. Which it was just really unfair towards the players. But it just made it even worse that it was the co-owner. So an hour passed and I decided to try out this prostitute class. Obviously I didn't get much salary, but I gave a Secret Service player a dance to try and, just get at least a bit of money and see if this class was worth any of my time. But the man decided to take out a shotgun and randomly shoot me. And even then I found out he was a super admin. So from my experience with the administration team, it was a generally poor experience. However, playing a few days later, like this morning, I noticed an administrator known as Rail Moose, who seemed like the most helpful admin there. I mean, sometimes I was being RDM'd and he'd instantly sort it out. But the funny thing was, the owner was on the server at the exact same time and he wasn't doing a damn thing. So, sometimes you can find good admins, but other times, such as the owner or the co-owner, they're not the best. But yeah, so I didn't enjoy myself that much on this server. Definitely not compared to other servers. But yeah, as I said, here are the classes that the owner added, which allow you to just kill. So you've got the zombie and the zombie leader, who obviously just run around killing people. The terrorist, who you can blow yourself up every 10 minutes in a crowd of people. Assassin, in which you can ask people to send you hits, in which you just go around killing people who've been placed a hit on. Then you got the zombie hunter, who just hunts the zombies, which is another irrelevant class. But then you got 4 different gang members to kill the rival gang. So 2 on each gang. You got the gang members and the mob boss. I mean, sure, this is always in a Dark RP server, but to have separate gangs, their rules were you could kill them on the streets on sight. Which I found was ridiculous, because you just found that gangs were running around on the street shooting each other, and the police couldn't do a damn thing because they were caught in the crossfire. But overall, that's 9 classes in the game that were added just for killing each other. I mean, this is supposed to be called Dark RP, not Dark DM. I just didn't enjoy it. But overall, I'd rate the server 4 out of 10 due to its poor administration abilities, weak server and forum population, and a bad choice of modifications for Dark RP. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to see more. And if you have a server that you want reviewing, please send me a message and I'll fulfill your request.